So that's the question. Your sibling asks you to lie for them to their spouse. Do you lie or refuse?
It depends.
It depends.
It depends on the kind of lie.
So if it's a white lie, they're
He's
fine.
going to
Yeah,
see a
because
side
we-
boy.
What
No,
if
like because
what if your sibling is going to see
it
a
wasn't
side?
mentioned in the statement. That's what I'm asking. It
Oh.
depends.
It depends.
If it's a white lie, ever ready,
Ever ready?
ever ready.
What if the person is going to do something bad?
When you say something bad, what kind
Something
of bad?
bad, something that's not appropriate for the relationship.
There are so many things that can be tagged as, or that can be defined as bad. Bad to what extent? Sexual.
Yeah, probably
I
sexual.
think you have to, be
Probably
explicit.
sexual.
Going to steal too.
Yeah, I mean, if sexual, it's a big no for me.
You won't lie.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Idea, what would you do? Your sibling asks you to lie to the spouse.
Yeah, okay.
Would you lie?
The icebreaker here. Okay.
Oh, the lie, except if it's something too serious. So I ask for the details. If it's
So what if she's not ready to tell? He's not ready to tell you the details.
to depend on the person's demeanor. If not, I'll stay out of it.
So the spouse asks you, where is he?
I don't know. I don't know where she is.
He's still out of it. Anyway, that's just the icebreaker. Now, there've been a lot of things happening in that week,
Yeah.
within this week.
Yeah.
Let's start with the constitutional review. The president has assented, but not has assented, has shown his interest or likeness to some things within the constitutional review, right?
Yeah.
Number one is actually the 5-year term.
Yes, yeah.
Do you agree with the president?
The other day I said no, and I still stand by what I said.
Nowadays when there's an issue, so let's take it like that.
We have revived it. Okay. I mean, it's a big no because, like I said, or in my logical understanding, I see no reason why the years be extended to 5, because per my understanding, per my knowledge, I don't see any difference between 4 years and 5 years.
Is a blue
I don't see any. Yes, I don't
Okay.
see any difference between 4 years and 5 years. It's still the same thing. I mean, if the mandate is clear, and also, I mean, you made it in your manifesto that, I mean, you'll be able to do quantum of work or quantum of development within a specific year. So the 5 years, and like I said, you see, I mean, to every silver, I don't know how to put it, but every cloud has a silver lining. To every positive, we have its negative. So you're also looking at whoever is in power. If you have a president who is incompetent, really destroying things, really causing mess economically, and we still want him to serve 2 terms, your guess is as good as mine.
Not 2 terms, 5 year, a 5-year term.
No, 5-year term, but I'm just trying to also
So if the person is serving 2 terms within the 5-year term,
5 years, then I think
10 years.
then we have to run away from the country. Yeah, so for me, this
It's a
will
big
be
no.
maintained. It's a big no for me.
Adia, 5 years.
Yeah, so as I said, everything has the pros and cons, so same would apply. But I feel it's a good thing, and maybe that might be prejudiced because of where we stand. It's not a government we want to run away from. But I say it's a good thing because
A good thing. So you agree with the 5 years?
yes, over
Okay.
time, you always see that they need time to settle in. So for that, I think fine, because 5 and 4, there's really no difference. But if you make the excuse that yes, you really need time to settle in, and then you'll be met with some surprises that's kind of throw you off course and all of that, then 1 additional year doesn't change anything. As much as it's not anything so significant from the 4, it can be
So also
allowed.
you meet a tyrant.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everything has the pros and the cons. Maybe from where I stand, but so I think generally too, we should be ourselves, the people that speak up when things are not correct. We shouldn't wait till it gets to the breaking point before. So once we are enforcing the laws, making sure that we ensure what's been done is been done. Even if it's a tyrant, we can
You can deal with
will
it.
manage. Yeah.
Okay. Now, as a black,
Yeah.
it's in that same line.
Yeah.
There's still another issue, not an issue. There was something else that came up. They're trying to push the election date from 7th December to 7th of November. politicians or I was experts have argued that is because during the transition period is quite short before the next government takes power. So they are trying to push it to November 7th to give the incoming government more time and even the outgoing government more time to actually go through the transition process. Do you agree with the 7th November?
I think upon a second thought, I'll say yes. Because December is more or less like the busiest month.
So you agree with
I
it?
agree. Yeah, I agree. So that at least the transition team can have ample time to go through the books and probably to do some checks and balances. So I mean, if they want to move the date further to November 7, I mean, as the expert or probably the committee has made its findings or made it taught to the president, I think, or I don't see any big deal. But I mean, upon a second thought, or probably a divergent view would be that, I mean, so that means that the president will be serving, or the president will be doing 10 months in his last year. I mean, won't that also raise eyebrows? Won't that also spark conversations? So we're also looking at it where November is fine. However, divergent opinions matter. As Hajar Aishi said, I mean, if the issues that we don't understand or we don't comprehend, there's the need for us to speak up. Because once we are citizens, not spectators. So for me, 7th November is okay. However, technically, I mean,
reduces the term of the what's the name?
That's the last year.
The last year.
Yeah, exactly. The month
Okay.
the month gets reduced to 10 technically.
You go on political vacation.
Would that really harm the government in any way? Like the government in power having 10 months in its last term.
It's a political vacation. So I don't think it harms them in any way. And maybe at first it might look as if it's a but we'll get used to it. That is if that becomes a practice, we'll get used to it. But 1 month is insignificant to take away from the work you've come to do for 4 years or 5 years. So it will be insignificant to make a case of it that you need that one. Why is there money you want to take away or what? So you just have to round off well.
So you agree with the 7th November? Okay. Now before I go to Sir Black, the age limit to run for president has been reduced to 35 years, right?
Yeah.
Do you agree with that? No, it hasn't been reduced. The proposal is for it to be reduced to 35 years. And the president likes that one, right?
Yes.
Yes.
35.
you like that one.
Yes. The president actually likes a reduction to 35 years. Do you agree to that?
Do I agree or disagree? I'm just not comfortable with the 35.
Right.
Yeah.
Not
You think 35
comfortable.
is too young to be
Too
a
young,
president
yeah.
of a country?
In this Ghana that we are, the educational system one, and then after the educational system, you getting into the job market, determining where exactly you want to put yourself, getting involved in matters that concern you as a citizen, the economy and all of that. By the time you start beginning to understand those things, you're already 30 and above, and
35 is above 30.
yeah, that's just 5 years. And what are you bringing to the table? What can you offer as Ghanaians? You see, this is not, let me say, forgive me to say, the US, where everybody knows their job. It's not as if you're the only one who's going to lead. You're going to lead with a lot of people. You're going to have the guidance. But here we have a lot of foolish things going on. And you'd have to believe in yourself. You'd have to know that the person coming is capable on his own as well to put people in order, because people know their job here, but they don't do it. So you'd have chief of staff, you have all these people. But if you're 35 and you don't have that backing, the knowledge, all you need to be able to run an economy or even run your own business first, you may run us down as well. I think per our system here, 40-45 that'll be better. Me, I'm here. I'm around that age range. I don't see myself as a candidate for that yet.
So Black,
Yeah.
someone may argue that
Yeah.
this is an opportunity for the youth to think
well.
that, if the opportunity is on the table
Yeah.
by 35 years,
Yeah.
they need to sit out. I just can't wait till I start building at 20. You understand? I start early because I have an ambition. Age isn't this age is just a number. So
I think
why should it shouldn't it be a motivation for the youth instead of thinking you are too young to be president at 35?
It should be what you may see it as a motivation, but I also see it as a form of distraction, to the youth. And with this one, age is a number. I wouldn't say age isn't just a number. You're looking at 35. As she said, she's almost there. I'm almost there. So you guys are so that. I mean,
I passed there.
So now, upon a second thought, 35. What have you achieved in life? Do you really know yourself? In terms of self-actualization, are you there? We live in a continent, or we live in a world where some are even 40, they don't even know what they're about in life. Right? And you being a president at age 35, you have your, the people around you probably being your uncle's age, being your father's age. Would you be able to have that kind of gravitas, that kind of, confidence to be able to correct, an appointee who is twice of your age? You get my point. And I just said something about the Western world where you know what you are doing right at a certain age. But over here, even within that age bracket, people are still trying to find their feet as to what they really want to do. And you ask yourself that, what have they managed in life before? So I think if the president, wants to go with 35, I mean, I beg to differ. I think that, the age should rather be scaled to 45, or probably still be maintained at 40, so that we get to know that it's 40. Because with 35, you are still very young, very youthful, and you've not probably achieved a lot in life. Looking at the kind of, looking at the world that we find ourselves, right? If you put me there as a 35-year-old president, honestly speaking, what would I do? Majority of the people, majority of the 35s in Ghana wouldn't know jack about presidency. Right? Even those in their 40s and their 50s who've ruled Ghana, in their 60s who've ruled Ghana, what did it become? So I think that, the age factor, still be maintained at 40, or probably scale it up to 45, because with 35, we may think we know, but realistically, we don't know.
Really?
Yes.
You see the Ashanti Kingdom, and you see that small queen mother that has been crowned. Those people, they start grooming their royals from birth, because they know there's something coming. But we into history, government, and all of that.
You see, we live in
I think that's the point.
We don't have the succession plan.
That's the point I made when I was asking Black the question. That we all know, if we know the age is 35 years, and I have an ambition of becoming a president, I don't need to wait till I'm probably 30 before I start learning on that. You understand me? Maturity doesn't really come with the numbers. It comes with how well groomed you are, how knowledgeable you are in certain field. We've seen Queen Elizabeth. How old was she when she became queen? As a matter of fact, J.J. Rawlings, when he became the head of state, he was 31 years old. You understand? So you look at there's a whole lot of examples.
But
anyway, before
these are rare cases.
Yeah, but it's still possible. Anyway, that's the opinion. Now, so do you all agree that there are presidents that were people that were 70 years before they become president?
No.
At the age where your mind is actually
no.
And we vote for those people to be president.
Those ones we are working against it.
Exactly. Yeah. So you see, we are looking at middle age, probably between 40 and 50. If you're because with 60 and above, we see you to be a senior citizen, whereby you are like a retiree or pensioner. So for me, 35, like you said, what is the same plan? And also, I think probably if we had wanted to, probably scale it down to 35, probably we should have done this years ago, not now. Even if someone would say better late than never.
Better late than never.
Then we have to be eased into it. Like things need to change.
That's all. Anyway, for me personally, I personally think the 35 is actually a motivation for the youth to know that you have to be ready at the earliest of age. You understand? Because now education has been made so simple. We have the issue of AI.
If you don't take time, if you don't take time in the near future, probably another committee will come and say that then the age be scaled to 20, because they will say that now, because 35 is still an adult age, 20 is also adult age in terms of voting. And so you see, let's let's know what we do. And
Well,
also,
well,
yeah,
well, we've seen monarchs where people take up monarchs at very early
And
ages,
like,
and they've been
the
extremely
development
successful.
there,
exactly,
where
because
they
succession
got
plan is
to.
strong.
And then
But
they've been
yeah,
extremely successful. Anyway, we'll keep on speaking woodmen. We'll keep on
We
speaking
are, we are
woodmen.
not,
one
we are
million
not
is
at that
people. Yeah,
extreme
no,
end
no. Like I
either.
said, 40, 50 is okay, but for 70 and 80, come on, at least are like potential ancestors.
Okay, now today we said the Natamaklo. You realize that her issue came up. She was actually convicted for 10 years in absentia, right?
Yeah,
Now she was extradited. Is it extradited?
yeah, that's the word.
Back to Ghana.
Yeah,
And then her lawyers appealed. And then the court of appeal found out that all the charges, in fact, she was acquitted and discharged. That the monies that were paid, most of it were paid after her. The new administration, she didn't pay. And then there was an opportunity for the government in place to negotiate before payment. So she's been acquitted and discharged. And then the current attorney general said, no. And he actually appealed for a stay of execution. That he asked further questions to what? Ask her. Now that has been thrown out. I think that's happened. I think today is
yeah,
Yeah,
today,
withdrawn.
today,
Yes.
yeah, today.
Do you agree? Do you agree with her acquittal? Generally, at least, not. Just give your opinion on it.
I mean, if the AG feels that there are evidences, or there is an evidence for her to prove, or probably there's something beyond the case, I think that the AG be given some time to probably dig further. Other than that, the court has already made a declaration. She's been acquitted and discharged. So I don't know why I don't know why the halabaloo, this back and forth from the AG. Probably, I mean, maybe he still wants to make a case so that he wouldn't be tagged as probably maybe, I mean, he being a member of the party, and also said not being a member of the party, they are trying to let things pass under the bridge. So I mean, like you said, I mean, fair hearing. So if the AG still thinks that there are some he still finds something fishy, he should continue. But I mean, the judge has already made his declaration. So I think, to me, I mean, we should let sleeping not lie.
I don't think the AG was just sort of pretending. So she, like Seblag is saying, trying to just create the optics that we are not just freeing our people, so let me just appeal it and all that. So at least they know I tried. It just see it as something like that.
If I
When you read the judgment and then you go through it detailed, then realize that really
What's in the case?
there's not really much against the lady. So why is the AG still appealing?
so a lot of things may come to mind. When the AG appeals, you ask that, hey, is you not an NDC woman? And say yes, and the AG is appealing. Wow, it's like it's rare because we support our own politically, but we also, as you said, you look at the judgment, and I think in our minds we heard that Maslock have done this, they've done that, and then the trial started, she left. So in our minds, the person is somehow guilty. But I think one thing that has to stay with us is that once a matter goes to court, the anything that is determined is upon the evidence that is given.
Yeah.
So I can be as guilty as anything else. You can be seeing it, but if you cannot prove that case in court, then really I can walk free. You have another chance to send me back in. Yes, but I'll walk free. The fact that the court has ruled on the case with what is before it does not mean that, because you think she's guilty, the court should follow suit. No, it's per the rules, per the merits, per what is in front of it. So per the judgment we've read, I don't think she should be held. They can go back and go and do the charge sheet again, try to file more against her, and then maybe go further. Fine, we would follow. But for now, maybe you work at Maslock, you in government, and you know really there was something that really happened. Yes, prove it and come again. The court is not closed. The case is not closed. The case is closed for now. But you can still go ahead and prove your case that she's guilty. But for now, she gets to walk free. And since the AG's stay of execution was struck out, I don't know if he's going to the Supreme Court of it. I heard somebody say that.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah,
So
yes,
do
yes,
you
He's
think
going
that,
further to the
do you think
Supreme
that it
Court.
is going to do something for the optics?
I could think so, but to what end? Because what is he trying to prove? Unless it's of
Maybe he's
course,
taking
then he's
further.
trying to prove that the judges are working for the
Maybe
NDC. No,
the
we just have to let it go. Let what people think. Let it prevail. With time, the truth will come out. So
So,
I
so
think
Black,
it
in this
should be
case,
fine.
we've read the judgments. Do you think the executive is somewhat influencing the judiciary?
I doubt, because I think I mean, to what extent, can the executive, have, some, influence? The judiciary, is working, and I think, in the last 2 years, we've seen, judges, coming out to, give sound, verdict, or give sound judgment. So for me, I don't think that the executive, have, some form of influence, because I mean, for them to bring one of their own to be tried, I mean, the verdict has come out. So I think, for me, I mean, there's nothing to, like you said, the AG might feel that there's been a travesty of justice. I mean, if he feels that, he can go back for the charge sheet, to probably dig further. I mean, like how you said, the case, even though it's been closed, it can still be revived, or probably open, if at the Supreme Court fine. So for me, the executive has no, influence. Justice has been, justice has been served. If, I mean, other parties feel that maybe justice didn't go their way, I mean, they have, the right, channels to to go further. That's it.
Okay. Haji, still on the matter of the judiciary, we've heard of the judicial vacation, right? The Chief Justice has actually made it a point that some of the judges who could go on vacation actually are ready to keep on sitting on their cases, right? So they should be allowed to do their job. Other people seem to have a different opinion. We've seen the GBE right saying that they do not agree to that and all that. In fact, there's been one hearing already where the lawyer of Edubuahin didn't go to court. Atachi.
Yeah.
Yes. And the Edubuahin in turn have been given 6 days to present a counsel. If not that, then he has to defend himself.
Yeah.
Do you agree with the stance of the Chief Justice? In fact, the Attorney General is also in line with that. Yeah.
It's a ruling.
It's a ruling, yeah. So, do you agree?
Yeah, I think I agree. I agree because he's the Chief Justice, and the Constitution gives him power to appoint for such things to happen. On the other hand, the lawyers have argued that even though sittings are had during vacation, they are normally not for substantive matters, and yeah, so these particular ones to continue substantively, they don't feel it's something that is normally done. It's novel. So it may be novel somehow, but not in entirety. And then we've gone on to hear cases of how, even though it seems novel, it has happened before. So I think we as a people, we should also ask ourselves that, you said 29 days to the end of September, maybe the accounting weekdays. That's how long the case will stall. And if the vacation I hear is also not for, it's not compulsory that once it's a legal vacation, all lawyers should stop working. Of course, I know they don't stop working.
They keep on working.
They keep on working. So it's a vacation mainly for the judges.
Mainly for the
which
judges.
all you, the associates, also take opportunity to go on vacation. So if that's the case, and you know very well that judges also sit, and your case happens to be one of them now, then what is the problem? They just want to paint a picture that they call it ambulance mode. The cases have been placed in ambulance mode. But really, we ask ourselves as a country that every day we hear of corruption cases. We hear of it's not even allegations, like monies that have been given out to people that shouldn't take it, from all the way from the embassy in the US all down, and
We
there's
actually
nothing that kind of shakes us that, oh, let's rush with this and put some people behind bars so that we can save face. So since these people came, they've been dealing with oral, trying to put people behind bars. Today is this case or the other. And at some point, the same MPP kept saying that, where is oral? Oral is not working, because they even appreciated that somehow it was getting slow. And NDC kept making the government kept making a point that they need to investigate before they can prosecute. Now they are prosecuting, and you're complaining that it's been put in ambulance mode. So you realize that no matter what you do, there's going to be something coming from them. So you just have to keep focus. Yes, and you see, we build a culture of where something works for us, we don't determine whether it's good or bad. Once we can get some leeway, then we take it and we move with it. This legal vacation, if you follow the story, the people who should be telling us or educating us on it are the people who are trying to claim that is their vacation. But really, it is not your vacation. You take cases. People teach. There are lawyers that teach during that period. Lectures don't all go, and most of them, if they would even leave, is just for the bar conference, and then they come back. Some even do Zoom meetings there to have their classes, because that's where you're getting your money from. So it's just to make a point, to make a stance that no, this is what the government wants to do. We are not going to go with it because they are prosecuting our people, and we as citizens should not follow that. Anyway, I heard there's a citizen that has filed a case at the Supreme Court that even the vacation is unconstitutional. So what about that too? Because a case, once the case is brought to court, it must be dealt with fairly and within a time frame, so that you hurry up and end the case, so that everybody can have justice. So what about that?
Yes.
So I agree with what you just said.
The vacation is actually for scheduling.
Exactly.
It's not for a shutdown of our judicial system. Do you think we are actually ready to fight corruption as a nation? Because we tend to push when something goes in our favor, we tend to backlash when it goes against us, right? Like what we are seeing now. Do you think you're really ready? Because if people are being tried for allegedly corrupt practices, let's just finish and get them out. If they are free, if they are not guilty, they are free. If they are guilty, even if you're spending for 50 years, they'll still be caught up with it. So do you think as Africans or Ghanaians are really ready to fight corruption?
We have never been ready, and I don't think we will ever be ready. But once in a lifetime, it takes some, boldness, to really cause a stir for people to know that enough is enough. I mean, he who calls for equity must come with clean hands, as we say. The country is not meant for a group of people. I mean, once you know that, see, it is funny because if you know you've not done anything shady, or you've not done anything against the constitution, why shout? Why this back and forth? I mean, a ruling has been passed. The CJ has made, it's publicly known that. I mean, it's just a preserve or a vacation for judges. But I mean, some judges have been assigned to sit on some cases for justice to be dispensed as early as possible, or within a time frame. So if you don't have any case with that, I mean, just like I said, she said the associate want to take advantage. However, I mean, if you know you're a lawyer and you don't have any case, or you don't have any business in the court, why come and bemoan, or why come and express sadness? Allow the system to flow. Because there are so many cases in court that that should have probably been dealt with. You get my point? Because I mean, there are so many cases, corruption related cases, and enough is enough. I think for me,
it's not just the cases. What I read, it's not just the cases of the NPP folks. There are about 33 cases that have been sat on by judges.
In general sense, whether the cases are MPP related or probably related to any other citizen. I mean, even if it's MPP, are they not? And they are citizens of the land. Yes, and for me, the law must deal with them fair and square. I mean, unless they want to tell us that they are afraid, or probably they have a hidden agenda. Allow the state, allow the arm of government to function. Yes, you had your time. Probably, I mean, if it were to be their time, they would have done probably worse, or probably they would have still gone by this ruling. It is just a judicial vacation. However, some judges, have been assigned. So you just follow procedures, or you just follow order, and then that is. And like I said, they have something to hide. For me, it is something that the CG has already said, and it's about time, with governance, probably those in charge, took the bull by the horn and make sure that whoever has embezzled funds, whoever has done something on the contrary,
you brought to book.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. So before I move to C, so Black, do you think the MPP has been insensitive, especially during the Memorial Day when they decided to go on demonstration on that particular day? Do you think some Ghanaians are saying the party is now becoming so insensitive? At least the eight
Yeah,
eight Ghanaians who died.
This is
They died in the line of duty,
yeah.
and then exactly 1 year on, we were having a memorial for them, and then the New Patriotic Party chose that day to demonstrate. They were told they're insensitive, and then came back to say that what they did is in line with the death of the 8 Ghanaians because they were in line to fight Galamsey, and the Galamsey is still ongoing and even worse than before. So going on that demonstration shows that the people died for nothing. So it doesn't mean they are insensitive. They know what they were doing and they know what they're about. Do you agree with them? Do you agree with the Ghanaians that see them to be insensitive? Or you agree with the New Patriotic Party thinking or saying that they did that even in line with the death of the 8 Ghanaians?
Those who died, died in the course of, service to the land, no service to NDC or service to Galamsey, knows no political parties or whatever course that they took on that day. They did it in the interest of the land, not, a group of people. And the opposition were very insensitive. They could have chosen. I mean, there are other days, 7, 8, 9. Today is 12. They could have done it today. I mean, doing it on that day should tell you, or should give you a clear signal that that such demonstration or that particular demonstration was premeditated. It was clear. I mean, I wouldn't say much about it. I mean, they were highly insensitive, and I mean, it is something that, like, I don't know what the leadership of that party has to say. Yes, if it had been the other people, probably the left wing, would have said the same thing on a normal day, because I mean, you don't have to when it comes to bereavement, or when it comes to things of death, culturally we put aside our grievances and then we all come together and then unite, and then celebrate them, or probably commemorate the deceased. I mean, they were highly insensitive. I mean, if Ghanaians are saying they were insensitive,
You agree with the Ghanaians that
I
they were
agree.
insensitive?
Yeah.
Now, they presented a petition, and then I think most of the government officials were at the memorial. So the president assigned Nana Achimpim Jantua to go and take the petition, and then Afenyo Markin wasn't happy about it. In fact, he made statements that was presupposing that she was a nobody that has been sent to come for the petition. He said that wasn't his intention. His intention was that he expected someone, he expected the president to take it more seriously, to bring in people that look for the optics, look like they've taken their petition very seriously, or even brought in more than that one person for it. But the whole issue has blown. He said the NDC is actually blowing the issue out of proportion. He didn't do that to bring it, speak down on the person of Nana Jantua or for a position. We all heard the video. You saw what he said. Eventually, he didn't even present the petition. He gave it to a lady to present the petition. Do you think he was rude? Do you think he was right?
It was absolutely not right. And it wasn't right. And I think the whole thing, I think they are just on a journey to self-destruct. They're self-destructing themselves, because whatever they're doing is just putting them in the limelight and showing us what exactly they are. So they keep on saying Ghanaians are discerning and this, but Ghanaians are discerning and realizing that they are doing all the wrong things. This is the same party that told us that but once the person is a political person, the person can't have the interests of people. I've forgotten how exactly it was split, but it said it clearly that once the person is a particular political person, the person cannot have the interests of the people at heart. Like, it wasn't possible. The same thing they did with the judicial vacation. You are the people asking us that let's move, and you are the same people who are trying to pull back our legs for moving. Tribunal, you kicked that one as well. legal vacation, you want to push when you know that it should be able to happen. You shouldn't distract it. In fact, they could just go to the court and tell the judge that unfortunately they cannot be in court. That was a simple thing, and it should be adjourned, and then if you needed to even travel that day, you travel. But they decided that no, to hell with the system.
Yeah,
We
within
are
the
going
jurisdiction,
straight
it's still
to
open.
the Chief Justice. And once we've appealed to him and he's not answered us, to hell, let the system go to hell. So they are letting down their own people. They are letting even their party members see them for exactly what they are, because they are not representing them. There are a lot of women in that party. How do they feel? Maybe we should ask a woman from their party to see how she felt about what happened. If she was the one in Nana Janto's shoes, how would she have felt? Then maybe they'll get it from there, because they feel it's NDC that's talking. They do the thing, the whole country speaks, and they say it's NDC. But eventually they'll go to the polls again, and then they'll get the results. So they are not learning. So I think they're just on a journey of self-destruct, and eventually,
You self-destruct.
yeah, they'll self-destruct. So you just have to let them be, give them way to pass, because Nana Janto is not even complaining. She has tagged herself as the only person that will be receiving their
Well, she didn't tag herself. She said the president has actually told her she's going to be the only person to receive petition from the MPP.
Yeah,
So unless they don't
the
come to
MPP
that house,
So if you don't like
How
it, then
factual
don't
is
bring
that?
the petition.
that's what she's saying.
How factual
Yeah,
is
Because
don't bring the
she's a
petition.
she's a senior staffer at
Yes,
the Jubilee House.
yes.
And then she can't come to say
petition receiver.
yes. So he says she's the
So she's there for you.
MPP petition receiver.
Receiver.
The president has said that she can't come out to say something like that when the president hasn't said that, because she's a chief presidential staffer.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe that was in jest.
So she,
Yeah,
so she,
so
she
so-
waiting for any
Yes.
petition
So
you have.
for
and I
now,
expect
she
it
said
from her.
the president is saying that any petition from the MPP, she will be the one
To-
coming out
to receive.
it.
Yeah, I doubt that maybe the dates they chose. I want to believe maybe it was a mistake, or not a mistake.
But the
that
previous
they
one
just
was received by
didn't see
Standugbe.
what.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They've had about two.
Yes.
Yes. So this is the only one Nana Janto went for. And it was also a memorial day. And they didn't know.
Yeah, even like they
that
haven't got someone to take
Sandugbe and the chief of staff and all that, they were all at the memorial. So definitely,
They
you
wouldn't
wouldn't expect.
expect-
So it was even a favor by Nana Janto when the president, she was also there.
So all the key figures were not.
All the key figures were busy. So the president approached her and asked her to come for it. And then she comes for it. And he said the president isn't serious about whatever you are fighting for.
democracy and
And,
that.
in fact,
Yeah.
this democracy and attack, someone asked a question that during the time of the NPP, when the Occupy Julobi House was staged,
Yeah.
they didn't even allow them to get close to the Jubilee House. They stopped them. They didn't even allow them to get close to the Jubilee House. Now, this is the time where you've been allowed to get close and even enter. So, within that two period, which one would you say the democracy is being?
I think Ghanaians will be the best discerning people to what you know to.
Yeah, they're just
to know
putting
that-
light
yeah,
on themselves
exactly, yes.
to tell us who exactly they are. Because
Yeah.
And then when you complain, at times, what you hear is that they say what happened in the past happened in the past. That's why they've been voted out. So don't do the same thing they did.
So more or less like political witch hunting. But they knew that what they did was evil, or what they did was dishonest. So
Yes.
if what you did in the past, is now hunting you, then I think that yes, because you knew that whatever you do today will surely have its ripple effect someday, and these are people of sane minds. You can't tell me that they are insane. So if you know that you are doing something, then surely there will be a ripple effect, and then the law is taking its course. I mean, these are people who, some are lawyers and they should know better.
a lot of
Oh,
them.
most of them are lawyers. Anyway,
They should
now
think-
we've also had two scandals within 1 week. Two scandals. The first one is the Aska bribery case. Now let me just give you a breakdown. Aska during the time of the Doomso, I think 20, it's AXA. Yes. Did I say Aska?
AXA, right?
AXA.
Yeah, AXA.
Anyway,
Yeah.
during the time, I think 2016, 2014 thereabouts, when we had the Doomso, the AXA company, energy company,
Energy
whatever,
company, energy.
they were actually fighting to get a contract to actually bring us what generators, power generators.
Yeah.
So they saw someone who was by then working in a bank in the UK, and then to help them out. And then this is a breakdown. So there were bribery channels in order for them to have the chance to come in, probably carry out the project. Now there was a proposed $1 million or discussed $1 million to the Minister of Energy.
Yeah.
It was proposed bribe to influence the approval of AXA power project. That's one. The report is saying that was discussed. But as to whether it was received or it was given, it hasn't been determined yet. Now, there was also a proposed 250,000 to a senior advisor, proposed to bribe him actually to convince the minister, the Minister of Power, to receive it. And then there was also 2,250,000 to various government officials, ministry staff, engineers, and other government officials involved in reviewing and approving the project. And then there was also 66,000. That one was actually given to members of parliament. So that one was given by the Asante Beko, the guy who was actually influenced. He actually gave that money. That's
the banker.
So yes, that's the banker. So 66,000 payments made personally by Beko to MPs and other government officials. And then we also have 46,000 parliamentary member committee. Parliament members. It was a committee paid personally by Beko to members of Energy Committee of Parliament. 46,000 paid personally by Beko. And these are not information by me. These are information in the in the open. But we also have 25,000. That's 5,000 each given to 5 Ghanaian officials who travel to Turkey to actually what's the name? All expense paid trip to Turkey to actually oversee, to assess the trial evidence of whatever. That one was paid. So the parts that were paid was the one given to the government officials. That's 2,250,000 cedis. Said that was paid, right? Transferred according to the Security and Exchange Commission. But we also have the 66,000 to the members of parliament. That was paid.
Yeah.
Then we also have the 46,000. That was also paid. That's to what the Parliamentary Select Committee on Energy. And then we also have 25,000, 5,000 each to the officials that want to take it to inspect the whatever. That were also paid. These are all channels of bribery to influence the decision to actually bring AXA in to carry out their project.
Yeah.
And it's something that has spanned over 2 periods, both MPP and NDC. In fact, the Parliamentary Select Committee always have members of both parties, MPP
on board.
NDC. Yes. So with this information out,
Can we greet Casey and one?
There's a rumor that the 66,000 was given to him to disburse. Anyway, now this is the thing. Who do you really trust as a fighter of corruption? You understand me? You look at these things and then you start wondering. And this same guy was actually made the MD for Tor, the Mountain Refinery. This same guy.
That's Asante Beko.
Asante Beko.
Yeah. In the Eswala administration.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, what was happening within that period? Was it bribing everyone? Is it that we don't have integrity or we don't have conscience any longer? That when we see money, we stop thinking. It's not easy. We are fighting for the country, and those who put at the helm of affairs to fight for the country, fighting for themselves. It's a black.
I think the devil you know is better than the angel you don't. You see, you this question, I don't know how to even answer it because it is something that has become like a perpetual canker. 1 step forward, 10 steps backwards. Even just this morning, I was monitoring, one of the media outlets, and the lead presenter was talking about Galamsey. At a point, he gave up and then, moved on to another issue because to him, he's tired. Yeah, he said Operation Vanguard, whatever, way back, but you see, with these two political parties, that is not to say that we don't have, genuine, or we don't have, how do I say it? As in, like, characters or actors within these two, political families who are really doing their best for the country. But just that those who are really those who really have the country at heart and are ready to fight corruption and ready to fight for the interest of the country are very few. Just a microcosm of it. A large chunk of the people are destroying it. So if you have, let's say, 10% trying to do their best, trying to stay out of corruption, trying to win, win a lot of resources for the motherland, and then you have about 95% fighting the 5% or the 90% fighting the 10%. Then it will always be an exercise in futility, because at the end of the day we come and champion we always come and talk about come and speak against corruption, be your brother's keeper, see something, say something, whatever it is. At the end of the day, see, it's just be something that is just going to be a back and forth, and this narrative wouldn't end until, I don't know whether I should go to the extreme whereby probably if we can probably bring in some of the Asian rulings where someone is found in any corruptible, is found guilty in any corruptible practice, probably maybe the person spend the rest of his life in jail, or probably maybe the person can be executed. Like I said, I mean, probably that would be too extreme, because it's as if we only come and then speak about corruption, but we don't act. We don't act. Because can you imagine over $1 million visa scandal?
We
Can you imagine?
it.
And it's as if you see now people engage in corruption with glee, with some form of gravitas, with some form of like I said, they are bracing, they are unashamed. They do it because at the end of the day, it is their party in power. At the end of the day, they are saving the motherland. At the end of the day, it's my time. Let me go and cash out. But ask yourself that, is this what you were really brought into power for? Is this what you are doing? You call yourself honorable, and you are doing this honorable thing. So I think for me, and you see, like saying that, what kind of legacy are we leaving for posterity? Posterity will judge us, and posterity will punish us if we don't keep this thing out.
Oh, we'll be punished, definitely. We are being punished. Unfortunately, we are the ones suffering. Those people chopping the money.
Yes.
They are not suffering.
And it's as if that, we live in a time where if you don't engage in corruptive activities, or if you're not into that particular fraternity, and you want to live that kind of, minimal life, they are seen as, oh, Papa and Bobra. And you are seen as like Kolo. But that is not all to life.
Yes, that's what we've come to accept now, because we have people engaging in internet fraud.
Yes.
Romance scam and all that, and we all know, and then we
the needless pressure.
Oh, that's a son. He's a fraudster.
Can you imagine? And
we said so boldly. He's a scammer.
Confidently,
and then he comes with his car and all that, and you see elderly people bending down to greet him and all that. That literally saying,
because
that's a son. He's a thief.
Because you are because society is worshipping decadence.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So everyone enters, and all we think about is, let me get the money, let me have my properties, and let me do the show. But yeah, another thing, during the era of Jerry John Rawlings, these are things that were so rare. Yeah, do you think it's a leadership? At least from what we have read and what we saw when growing up, you understand? These things were not that common as it is now. Scandal here and there, people stealing money here and there. See, these oral issues, there are lots of them. In fact, what you are saying is not the tip of the iceberg. I think they are just bringing it down up, and we've even heard there are lots of people behind closed doors paying their monies.
Yeah.
There are lots of them going to Yoko, but the issues are just not coming out. So why is it that the scandals have now become the order of the day, when some time back the scandals were so rare? You just see it pop once and then that's it. Do you think it's about the leadership?
It's about the leadership. It's about the culture. You see, Jerry Rawlings' time, we all knew him to be the man he was. He didn't take nonsense. He set the rules and he wanted it to be obeyed. Let's even go a little back to Kwame Nkrumah's time. He was also criticized for his how do you call it? The aristocratic nature and all that. But you see, if you put your foot down and you say one is one, you are not going to have any
Dictatorship.
imitation of it. Stick to the rules. There's no flexibility. Where there's flexibility is for matters of flexibility, but one is one. There's no way anybody can go and say 1 plus 2 is 1. 1 plus 1 will remain 1. But as we said, we are people who we always try to look for where things are lax, and then we relax there. We like money, but we are not ready to sacrifice and do the work that is involved to get the money. We want the quick get rich schemes. We are interested in men who have money, and then we are jumping. Then our sense of morality, it flies off our head. Our hearts are just left to just keep drooling after them. So we have cases with women who are raped and all of that on the go. And we have men who are corrupt to the core. These are our fathers, these are our teachers, these are political leaders.
Gentlemen.
There's no way we can say that the people behind are better. So the leaders, yes, but we the followers, we are the same. Because yesterday I remember you asking me a question that what is it that is causing the corrupt? The people have learnt it. There are young people who are doing it. Those young people, some of them are in politics. But the thing is, they've learnt it from home. I'm saying that even in offices, when you get there, even as a national service, at times you have to sign for money you not even collect. They'll give you small, but you have to sign.
It's true.
Where the rest is going is none of your business.
Yes.
So from the beginning, you are being told this is how it's going to be. You need a job. Yes, I need a job. So you feel at the beginning that you can deal with it or you can keep, but you really can't keep away from it. If the thing is not good for you, stay away from it. Once you keep on associating, you will surely become that. There's no way we can get away. So we are immersed in it. It is who we are. So unless we take a conscious effort, intentional enough to say that we are getting away from this, we can't move. And one thing to getting that to happen is us saying that once you do it, you face the law. You face the repercussions. But we also don't want to hear the repercussion part.
No.
So once we don't want to hear the repercussion part, spare the rod, spoil the child. So we are going. This case, if it wasn't for US that has closed this case before we even hear it, and it to be one of those cases, they'll add it to all the Aludiba and all these ones. They are prosecuting their people, and there'll be another demonstration. And we'll keep on going like that. That's what we like. When they bring the demonstration, then it to be in the news for the whole week. We discuss it.
In fact, I think in 2022, when the guy stepped down in 2020, right? He was given a post, and he only spent 3 months because this issue
Then he
popped up.
resigned.
Yeah.
And then he resigned.
He resigned.
And then, what's the name? In UK, I think he was arrested in UK.
Then he returned.
I think that was 2022.
Extradited.
And then he was asked to be extradited back to the US because he's also a US citizen.
Okay.
And then the US has now convicted him. Now, back in the day when they were doing the whatever, they said what we've read is that the Attorney General, past Attorney General, and then the Office of the Special Prosecutor helped the US in their investigations.
Yes.
So definitely they had a clue of what was happening.
Yeah.
Why didn't they just arrest the guy here? But he was just made to resign as Tor MD. I think 3 months.
You see, those are some of the reasons why when he asked us that is dual citizenship a thing that we should tell you that yes, it's working in another country. But we know what's in there. You see, he entered another country. He's taken dual citizenship.
But they don't put
But on the other way, it's due to this dual citizenship that has made that guy be brought to book. Because we left him off the hook.
But
He went there,
but it's a member
and
of-
because he's a citizen of US was able to punish him.
because
So if he wasn't a member, or if he wasn't a citizen of the United States, and then we have allowed him to resign and then go, he would have been free by now.
Exactly. So if there's good in that
Yeah,
country, there's
don't you-
good is here, and the person is a dual citizen, the person should take a part. Which part do you think the person will take?
the person
Why do we
should
have to go for that? The person will go for that part.
exactly and
That part is
yes.
not reliable because they have systems in place that work. So we are waiting
And
for
when
the
you-
second dual citizens should
Yeah,
act
exactly.
before we know that we
You see
have
the
to act. We've lost the battle.
And when he feels reliable,
the
I
battle.
mean, he's been grabbed.
Yeah, and then we say
Yes,
we have people
yeah,
who
yeah.
have they have benefit
Faith,
bringing from
as
other
like, you know,
countries. That's a benefit.
So-
Let's take
And
our
foreign
money.
exposure.
So-
with-
so-
And the rich are just trying to get richer.
Exactly.
So until we get up for ourselves,
So
they're not really
so that's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
then. So if not for that dual citizenship, that guy would have been free by now.
yes, because
Yes.
that's what we like.
Yes.
That's the kind of people we are,
Exactly,
and we
yes.
also want to do
So,
that.
so the dual
we
citizenship
dilly-dally
in
around
this
the
case is
issue.
actually what ourselves does.
So right now we should be done. That is where you provide an
No,
opportunity
like
for
them
the
to
other
come-
country to use them
Yeah,
against you,
okay,
because they
yeah.
realize how you actually
Ah.
act.
So,
What
so,
you've
so,
done now, and we are
exactly.
not even rushing to prosecute.
Very
man.
good. So,
it's just painting
so that
a
tells
good picture.
so that tells them that we are not serious as a
Yeah,
country. Yes.
so they can take
yeah,
the
yeah,
people and
exactly.
use them against you in times of war. Use them
Yeah.
against you. They will just be
Yes.
using them, and you not even
And
know
they'll
anything is
manipulate you.
happening.